Today I'm going to share with you a simple yet powerful body talk technique called the cortices. The technique is focused on connecting all the cortices of the brain, frontal, parietal, temporal and occipital, so that there is better communication within the brain. The brain communicates via neurons, but also via electromagnetic frequencies. When we are overly stressed, there can be a shutdown that happens within the brain. It's almost like all the circuits get blown, and it can impact on memory and impact on, well, basically it can impact on pretty much everything, because if you just think about the role that the brain plays in the body, it's profound. And if the brain is not functioning well, then the entire body is also going to be thrown out of balance because of the body-mind connection. And stress profoundly impacts the brain. Furthermore, we are surrounded by EMF and radio waves and various factors that have complicated or interfere with the ability of the brain to communicate via electromagnetic waves. And so this technique really just rewires everything so that there is better communication between the various cortices of the brain and between the right and the left hemispheres of the brain. This helps mostly, well, this is what most people notice initially, is it brings about a sense of relaxation, it decreases stress, but over time it also has a general impact on the body and mind connection and health in the body. Furthermore, because we're connecting with three different brains, we're connecting three brains that I'm going to describe to you in a moment. It helps to prevent us from making all our decisions from the heart brain and becoming more intuitive and in touch with what our bodies really need, rather than what we believe we should be doing. And this in itself aids our healing and our health and well-being as we connect to our needs and what is best for us and in our greatest and highest good. So we work with the head brain, heart brain and gut brain. The head, all three of them have various components that are similar in terms of how they're made up physiologically. They have peptides and neurons and neurotransmitters, but they have very different purposes. And for the most part, especially in Western society, we tend to over-rely on the head brain, and the heart brain and gut brain are not used very much, to our detriment. So the head brain is like a computer. It analyzes our best chances of survival based on what has worked before in the past. Now, just because when you sat in the corner at a party, it helped you to feel safe, it doesn't mean that's in your greatest and highest good and is what you should do next time. So our coping mechanisms are not always that healthy, but our brains tend to program our behavior based on what has seemed to help us to survive. Also, the brain is responsible for all the automatic processes that enable our survival in general, which are obviously extremely important. Then the heart brain is around relatedness. It is how we relate to ourselves, to the world, and to other people. And this in the heart is where our innate knowledge is, our innate awareness of our truth and who we are and what is in our greatest and highest good. And this determines our relatedness, because relating from a headspace of what we believe is good or bad versus relating to what we feel is a very different thing in many cases, unless we are in better alignment. Okay, so then the gut brain is responsible for making our decisions. Beyond that, it has plays a huge component or a huge role in our immune functioning and in our mood, because the vast majority of our neurotransmitters, dopamine and serotonin, are actually produced in the gut brain and not the head brain. And so our depression and anxiety are very related to the health of our microbiomes and our guts. And the health of the microbiome and the gut will also determine the type of decisions we're able to make in our greatest and highest good. Okay, so To connect the cortices of the brain, we will use this hand, or you can choose whichever feels most comfortable to you. My right hand is my dominant hand, so I tap with my right hand, and I'm now opposite to you on the screen. But so I put my left hand, but I'm starting on my occipital cortex, bringing the other hand up in front of my face, palm facing my face, and bring it up over my head. So I am covering both the right and the left, connecting both the right and the left hemispheres. For a breath in and out, you tap. As you are doing this, you are sending a wave, a standing wave, through the electromagnetic layer that surrounds the body, and it's like it's waking up the body to what we are tapping. Okay? Then we move the hand down to the heart brain for a breath in and out. You can do it for longer as well, for as many breaths as you want to. And in fact, the more time you can take, the more it's going to help you to relax. But one breath is sufficient. And then breathing on the gut, tapping on the gut brain. One breath in and out. You can't see, but I'm tapping. Just to, it doesn't matter where I'm tapping, just kind of over my navel at this point. So then I take my hand from where my little finger is. I put my thumb and I move one hand position up and tap again. Head brain, heart brain, gut brain. And I'm visualizing connecting the two that I've just tapped, the one before and this hand position. Thumb where my little finger was, moving my hand position one up. Tap on the hand. Remember to cover both the right and the left hemispheres. On the heart and on the gut brain. And then frontal cortex, this is a very busy part of the brain. Tapping on the top, the head brain, heart brain, and gut brain. And finally, holding the temporal cortices. Now you have to tap, so removing whichever hand you need to tap with. You're still connected energetically between these 2 points. Tapping on the head, the heart, and the gut. Just closing that. I like to hold my brain. To hold my brain for a little bit at this point, all my clients. And just as I do that, I visualize everything connecting and talking and all the energy flowing beautifully between the various cortices in the right and left hemisphere. And there you go, that's it. You can do that once a day, whenever you're stressed. I tend to do cortices. My family know that if they hurt themselves, if they've got a fright. My mum reversed into a lamppost, and the first thing I did was start doing cortices. She's like, "Oh, just go away." But yes, cortices is really a powerful technique, especially when used over time, and it helps to integrate sessions, body talk sessions as well. Okay, there you go. Enjoy this technique. Take care.